What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well. Got a review for you. Let's get into it. All right, today we're going to be taking a look at the Vosteed Griffin. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do some size comparison, profile comparison. We'll weigh the knife, and then we'll jump into my thoughts and impressions. Let's kick it off with some size comparisons because this is a full-size one from Vosteed. Very unique too. Here it is against the Spyderco Para 3 and the Spyderco Shaman. So you can see about the same size as the Shaman, just a little bit more narrow overall. Let me go ahead, move the Para 3 out of the way, and we're going to bring in one of the newer budget knives, early front runners for 2024 knife of the year, and that is going to be the Migron Carex budget model. We'll move the Shaman out of the way, and we're going to bring in another knife that I'm checking out this week. A couple of different size comparisons for you guys that might not be as familiar with these, but you should check them out. This is the Civivi Amorite. So as you can see, it is more in line with the fuller sized Amorite and less so the medium and smaller size of the EDC world. While we're here, we're going to go ahead and check out the measurements. So you got about a 3.5-inch blade with about 3.3 cutting edge because of that recurve. Overall length coming in at 8.5 inches. So there you go for you guys that prefer measurements over over the size comparisons. I get it. Here it is with the profile comparison to the Amorite. You can see there coming in just a little bit thicker because of the contoured scales. And then we'll bring the Shaman back out here. And then compared to the Shaman, just a little bit thicker as well because of the contoured scales. And then I was curious with the recurve and everything, profile-wise, pretty big. It's taken up a lot of space, similar to what you would see with some of your Spydercos. Let's check the weight real quick as well. Let me bring the scale out here, throw that on really fast. There we go. Waking up, man. I was sleeping. Coming in at 3.7, so it's still under 4 ounces. Not bad at all. 3.7 ounces for a 3.5-inch blade, depending on where you land with your ounce and inch thing. This is a very interesting knife. You are getting 14C28N liner lock with G10. You're also getting a deep carry pocket clip. Unfortunately, it is not reversible, so no love for the lefties out there. Usually you see reversible pocket clips from Vosteed, so very curious that you don't see that this time around. It does have pretty decent access to the lock bar. It's not the best, but because they threw this jimping here on that lock bar, it does make it easy to get in there to drop shut it and also to pull it up. It is very easy to slide and unlock and let it drop. It is a guillotine for sure. When you go to push the lock bar in, you got to get it out of the way. I say guillotine. It does require a little bit of shaking. I think with breaking in, this one would really be a guillotine. Very interesting flipper tab. I love the jimping on here. Vosteed, I believe they always do a really good job with the jimping with their flipper knives. It is definitely a light switch. You want to pull down on that, and the jimping grips really, really well there. So I do like that. It has a front flipper that doesn't have as aggressive jimping, but honestly, because it is tall enough, I have not found that I fail that or feel like I'm going to slide out of that. The detent's a little light on this one, but it is a pass around, so I say that with a caveat. It has a raised back spacer, which is unique, and it has a little light jimping on there, or knurling or milling, whatever you want to call it. Really, they could have gone a little bit more aggressive with it, in my opinion. I think it would have just added to the ergos. I didn't think this would feel that good ergonomically, but you are kind of locked in here. I feel the jimping on the back of that flipper tab, but I'm not going to complain about it in this position because I do like that jimping being aggressive for the flipper portion of it, and it's not that much of a deal breaker for me to where I would want to complain about it anyway. It does feel a little unusual. I'm trying to figure out why that is. I don't know if that's the relief cut here, but I do feel like something, and maybe it's the way that it's bent back here and how it contours down into the hand. Something for me feels a little off. I don't know if I would say that it makes it feel uncomfortable or if it's just because of the way that everything's kind of, I wouldn't say sharp. I would say everything's kind of cut up, kind of boxy. So you have the cut here for the angle here and here. Then you have another cut here for another angle with the back spacer. And I feel like I feel all of that. And then the sharpness on the jimping here. So you are locked in, but I don't know if I would call this a comfortable knife. I would say it's okay. I wouldn't say it's great. The amazing thing is the pocket clip really works well, and it's not the concern that I have with the ergos. It's fine. It is coming locked up at about 35, probably 40%, so good lockup there. It is a pass around knife, so I am not going to do any spine whack. No side to side, no up and down, very solid. Let's take it down to the garage and see how it performed with just a little testing. All right, we're in the garage. Let's check out the edge on this one. It is a pass around. I do not know how many other channels have looked at this one before I had the chance to, and it's a recurve. So let's just check. Okay, not bad, especially if it's been in the pass around. I have a piece of cardboard here. Let's just see how it moves through the material. It is a very unique feel in hand. Very slicey, guys, very slicey. It moves through that material very, very well. So with these, since they are passed around, I'm not going to do a ton of cutting with it. Just wanted to see, you know, decent factory edge, fairly slicey for a recurve, and let's kick it back up to the table. So we have that compound ground blade, and it did fine. I would say it was less impressive from the slicey perspective when I took it across the paper, and very impressive the way that it was trapping the cardboard and cutting through that. It went through it very well, and that's because it is very thin out on the furthest part of the compound grind. You do have a little bit more thickness here for strength. I'm not exactly sure, outside of possibly coming in to like a very big opening with your rope and the rope landing here, pulling up on that, but then I would worry about it kind of sliding into the hand. If I were cutting the rope, I would probably just keep it here on the thinner part anyway, but you have some strength there if you need it for any type of stronger material that you might be trying to push through. I didn't get to sample this for a lot of stuff. It is a pass around, so I try to really limit what I'm doing there, especially on the recurve, because this is a challenge to resharpen and a challenge to strop if you're not used to it and you haven't done it before. It isn't a subtle recurve either. This one here, you would really need to concentrate working the edge of your strop, using your honing rod, using the edge of your stones to sharpen this one back up. And 14C28N isn't known for its superior edge retention. It's good. It's a great steel. It's tough, but its edge retention isn't that great. So overall, I would say this is a good model. It is very interesting if you like unique knives. The deployment methods are good. Ball bearings and action is tuned well. And I would say it is a very unique model. All of that coming in for under 90 bucks. Let me know what you think about the Vosteed Griffin down in the comments below. Shout out to everyone out there that likes, uses the links, comments, and is subscribed. I appreciate the support. Love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.